Dream finally made his response after over a year of these allegations being put against him, slandering his name, saying that he was this groomer and this horrible, terrible person. He finally made a video called The Truth that he posted 6 hours ago, and it covers everything. All of the allegations from his face leaking to the speedrun scandal, all the way down to the most recent situation with the burner account and all these other grooming allegations that came out against him. And I just want to say, I'm not going to be covering everything in this video. I recommend you go watch the video for yourself, form your own opinions, of course. I'm only going to be covering the grooming allegations and the pedophile allegations because it's what the whole saga's been about on my channel. That's the only thing I've been talking about, so I'm going to just continue and make an update on all that. So let's start right here with Dream post weird pictures. He went through and talked about how Charlie brought up in his video saying that Dream creates these parasocial relationships with his fans by posting thirst traps and also interacting with his fan base, knowing that his fans are underage. And that's a very valid point. It's a point and a concern that I brought up in my own videos. And he made a somewhat good explanation. I'm trying to go into this being very neutral because I admit I'm not a huge fan of Dream. So I made those other videos being the slightest bit biased. I still try to remain as neutral as I can. I don't want to push false narratives on someone, of course, something this serious in nature, but if I do believe it, then I'm going to say it how I see it.
But if I posted photos like these, which to be clear, if I was ripped as hell like Charlie, I would 100%. It would be made out to be predatory because it's me when it's not at all. And that same standard isn't applied to TikTok stars or really anyone else but me, just because I'm the Minecraft guy. A lot of the photos me and Charlie have posted are actually really similar. It's just people cherry picking goofy photos of mine and then making them out to be weird. When it's just me posting random photos, because that's literally part of our job. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
And at the end of the day, I don't really care what he posts. I don't care if he posts thirst traps or not. He could be biting his lip going, "Oh, I can't wait to hop on Minecraft today," while he's shirtless and flexing in the mirror. It would be insanely cringy, but he has the right to do that. I'm not going to enjoy it, but he could definitely do that. It doesn't really bother me. Where it gets kind of messed up and where the problem started to arise is the fact that he is very active on Twitter. That's the first and foremost thing. If you don't want to be involved in drama, don't participate in Twitter. And two, he interacts with his fans, which, mentioned before, are mostly younger people just because of his Minecraft, the game he plays being Minecraft. The target demographic is young children, people that are underage, although he definitely does have some of-age fans. But that is where the issues started to come in, and all these allegations started to be flung at him. One, him being on Twitter, and two, he has interacted with his fans. Which brings us to the first allegation, and I'm going to let him talk about it here.
Really important stuff. Over the last year and a half, there's been a bunch of really serious allegations made against me. Some of them were quickly disproved, others admitted they were lying, but there's still some that I'm going to address in this video. The first allegation made against me was pretty quickly discarded. It was an allegation of flirting and had some inconsistencies. I'm still taking it seriously though and don't want to overlook anything, so I'm going to talk about it now. The first ever allegations against me that were spread pretty far were made the day after my face reveal, on October 3rd, 2022. A girl named Anastasia tweeted out, "He's only face revealing because he's scared that I'll do it first." And then she followed it up by tweeting, "I'm too tired / real life struggling to get involved, but the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor."
Okay, so yeah, that's the first allegation. I've talked about this before. I don't remember exactly what I've said, but I went through all the evidence that was posted from them and other people talking about it. And that one to me always did feel like the least credible of all the allegations. Like if any of them were going to be believable, the Anastasia ones had the least credibility to back them up that there was actually some like weird stuff going on between them.
Because of my face reveal, it took off, pointing out inconsistencies, asking questions, and so on. I didn't have any inappropriate contact with this person. I didn't have any sexual contact with this person. I hardly even remember who this person is at all. And the only messages I could even find with this person were friendly Twitter DMs. And even in those Twitter DMs, I mentioned that they had 18 in their bio, which they contradict. I definitely didn't face reveal to them. That's an obvious lie. Almost nobody knew what I looked like at all before my face reveal. Not even most of my best friends that had known me my entire life, let alone someone I don't even remember talking to at all. She posted a screenshot of some texts and claimed that they were from me. She showed a screenshot of my TikTok being from your contacts to try and prove that the texts were from me, which people quickly pointed out isn't possible because I have a Google Voice number hooked up to my TikTok, which isn't iMessage like the text. And again, she never claimed any sexual misconduct. She never claimed anything related to nudity or sexting. This was also in early 2020, and she had 18 in her bio. With everything and all the inconsistencies, wasn't taking that seriously.
Yeah, so just like he said, it wasn't taken insanely seriously. And I did cover those screenshots of him, you know, the weird coronavirus messages and all that were kind of creepy, especially given the fact that it was hinted towards that she was 17 at the time, but then it also, like, she could have been 18. That whole situation was very confusing. And to me personally, that one never seemed super believable, but I still didn't throw it out the window. Given the other allegations and the credibility behind those, it made me somewhat believe that that one could also be true. And now, before he moves on to the second allegation, he does actually bring up and say, why ever respond to a fan? So I feel like that's also worth putting in this video too.
I see some people say, why respond to fans at all? Or that it doesn't matter what Dream said. The fact that he responded to a fan is creepy. And people saying that are missing a little bit of nuance. First of all, back when I started YouTube in 2019, obviously I had a very small community.
So the issue's never been that you responded to fans. It's the fact that you further pursued conversation with them after them reaching out to you. You know, it's not an issue if you reply to comments. I reply to pretty much every comment that I get on my videos because I don't get that many comments. I get like 10 to 20 on average every video. So obviously I'm going to reply to them all because I appreciate everyone that does take the time to watch and comment especially. But you take it to a whole nother level when there are, like I said before, many examples of you pursuing conversations with these people on other platforms. And regardless of your intentions, the fact remains that the person you're talking to would see this potentially in like a power dynamic kind of way to where they would feel pressured or feel a certain type of way about responding to you, acting a certain way to you. And if you did end up saying something to them, they might feel more pressured to respond to it or do what you say because they idolize you and look up to you so much. Which does take us to the second, what they're calling the second victim, this second bit of allegations, that being Amanda.
Now, the second allegation is what I'm going to talk about in extreme detail. Second allegation came out soon after the first and said that the first allegation was why they were sharing their story. It was from a girl that claimed that when she was 17, we inappropriately messaged. This did not happen. Let's get into the details.
So this is the allegation that kinda made me start to believe that Dream could be a terrible person. Because like he said, they came out because of Anastasia's story and because of what Anastasia was saying, and they had a story to tell of their own, except theirs was far more severe. They said there was sexual conversations exchanged while she was still 17. And this is a timeline here that helps you get a great idea of this whole Amanda timeline between Dream and Amanda. The first interaction being on September 23rd of 2020, where the ages were 16 to Dream's 21. And then we move on to Amanda has a boyfriend. There's gaps in the text. They stopped texting beginning the end of 2021. And then she's now 17. Dream's now 22. And then they're talking again. And that's when Dream gives her his Snapchat. He says to add her on Snapchat if she wants. Then she adds him. And apparently this little timeline, the red line between January and February, before Amanda's birthday, is where the possible sexting took place. But now I want to back it up and let Dream explain his perspective of the story and him saying that none of that is true. He starts off by going through a lot of their Instagram messages, and it's pretty just casual conversation. Once again, weird that you're communicating with a fan, especially an underage fan. Just don't do that. But I want to show you here when he starts to just go through trying to disprove it.
You may be wondering at this point, why are you replying to her? You seem clearly disinterested. You're taking days or weeks to reply, and then when you do reply, it's very dry. Well, Instagram has a really stupid feature that makes it so that once you've replied to someone's DMs once, you can't remove their ability to personally message you, unless you block them. You cannot be following them, you can delete them from your inbox, they can still message you and pop up in your notifications. I'm showing an example on screen of my DM continuing to pop up on my alt account, just to show how it works. Obviously, given I replied to Amanda back in 2020 when I had a much smaller community, she was stuck in my inbox for the rest of time. You can temporarily delete someone from your inbox, and it deletes all of your message history to them for you, but they can still message you, with now a blank DM history. So at one point, wanting her to stop DMing me, I swiped her out of my inbox multiple times.
So to me, this is just an insanely weird argument as to why you kept responding to her, you have the ability of free will. Maybe you didn't want to be a bad person or whatever, but just stop responding. You don't owe her anything. You had a casual conversation a couple times. Leave it at that. You don't have to reply. You could just not respond. But if you couldn't stop yourself from responding, just block her and let that be that. And then none of these allegations would have had anything to be based upon.
Now we get to the very end, which was our first real conversation. This one was about music, which makes sense. It's something I'm really passionate about. At the time, I was working on a song called Trust Issues and some other random music projects. And in the middle of us talking about music, I gave her my Snapchat. I said, add me on Snapchat. And she said, sure thing, just added you.
All right, I'm going to get a bit biased here. Dream's music, ass. Can we just get that out there? Can we say that's a solid fact, Your Honor? His music is ass. But regardless of that, there he does show the messages where he does say that he did add her on Snapchat from Instagram with the sole purpose of only sharing music snippets with her.
A bunch of people at the time, and as we were talking about music, I wanted to share them with her. And I'm obviously not going to send snippets of a new song over Instagram. Now, I've pretty much always used Snapchat as one of my main forms of communication. It was actually the first social media I ever got because a friend of mine wanted to start a streak with me.
And I guess it makes sense that he would want to send it on Snapchat because they delete or whatever, but there also could be the same argument that your ulterior motives, you know, if you wanted to get sexual with her, that evidence would also delete because it's on Snapchat. But, you know, it's a two-lane road. Allegations can be thrown both ways. But this Amanda situation boils down, if nothing sexual did happen, like you say, at the very least, you just shouldn't have messaged her like you did. You should have blocked her. You should have started ignoring her. And you could have avoided all these problems. So I'm not going to say it's completely his fault these allegations are out there. Of course, he's not the one that started them. Someone else did, Amanda. But he is a liable party. He's not completely innocent. He's not the victim here. He has an equal part in this whole situation developing. So now I will say, while there is no concrete proof to prove that him and Amanda did exchange nudes or have sexual conversations when she was 17, there is these screenshots here, of course, that I showed my other videos where Dream did call her beautiful. He says, "You're gorgeous as fuck," which is and he sends her a gift card, which he says is a birthday present. So he's saying he said all this after she was 18, after she turned 18. But even if you are saying you're gorgeous as fuck and she is 18, you knew her before she was 18, and waiting until she was of age to say this to her, kind of a really fucking weird thing to do, Dream. Very weird, and doesn't make you look any better.
While giving her a gift card as a birthday present. Finally, she said that we planned to meet up and have sex in August when she was in Orlando.
It was suggested that we meet up, and
Amanda is also the same person who said that she was going to be filing a police report and was going to sue Dream over this whole situation. She even went as far as posting a picture of her being inside a police station, and this to me is where I gotta give Dream credit. He actually pretty well dismantled this part of it.
She then tweeted a picture of the inside of a police station and also said she'll come back with more evidence, to be patient, that it's a process, and that it could be days. And that's her last tweet. It's been almost a year and a half now. Obviously, nothing happened.
Bro, Dream, you have no right to talk about someone being punctual and actually posting something when they say they're going to respond to something. Your response video. These allegations aren't anything new. They go all the way back years. And it took you this long to make a response video, which only made you look worse because you never responded to it. If you would have dismantled these from the beginning, from the get-go, none of this would have it wouldn't have taken off like it has, and this whole narrative of you being a groomer would have never been substantial enough to attempt to ruin your career.
Waited and waited. Then I got impatient. So I asked my legal team to look more into it. They got all of her information, and after filing many requests, they couldn't find anything. So, annoyed and still impatient, I asked them to get more specific. And after a lot of digging, my legal team was able to track down exactly where this picture is from based on the colors of the walls, the cameras, and a plaque outside the door. Then had someone go to the police station and requested specific records from this specific police station. And checked every record they could, criminal and civil.
I didn't find anything under either one of those names.
And there was no information at all.
So I gotta give him a round of applause. Give him big kudos. He did the work. He put the effort in to make himself look as innocent as he could. You know, he actually got substantial concrete proof to back up what he's saying as opposed to what she is saying. So now that he's came out and done this, I'm more so inclined to believe what he's saying more than I am what she's saying. Although I'm not, throwing out and saying everything he did was now right. The stuff he did, I think, is still weird, but I'm more so believing his narrative now. But then again, I gotta say, these allegations are from over a year ago, so you could have responded a lot sooner and saved yourself a lot of trouble. Like, why the hell did it take you this long? And now, in the middle of all this, all these grooming allegations, something serious did happen that I say it's terrible. It shouldn't have happened to him. This is something horrible that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. He and his family got swatted and doxxed multiple times, and it's just sad to see. Nobody deserves to go through that.
I have always said that doxing is extremely serious, swatting is extremely serious, and I don't think people even realize how serious. It's not just, haha, funny, send a pizza to someone's house. It's attempted identity theft for my family members and friends, credit cards being signed up for in people's names, fans or people who dislike you showing up at your house or your family's house to try and break in, trackers being put on your family members' cars, people showing up at your little sister's job, SWAT teams being called to you and your family members' houses, bomb threats and the FBI having to make sure you're okay, people calling your 80-year-old grandma pretending to be you and terrorizing her. That's all stuff that has happened to me, my family, and my friends.
Yeah, everyone that was involved with that, participated in that doxing and harassment, deserves a special spot in hell. They deserve to be roommates with Hitler down in hell. Like, that is just inexcusable. It's disgusting. It's just deplorable behavior. Regardless of if the allegations against Dream were true or false, involving his family and harassing them and just absolutely terrorizing them, it's disgusting. It's just absolute Twitter goblin behavior, and I hate hearing about it. But now we move on to the most substantial evidence, in my opinion, the most substantial allegations. Dream did what? And it's, of course, the moaning audio that came out that he allegedly sent to a 16, 17-year-old.
Of all the Nicholas drama, someone tweeted out this, accusing me of sexting a 16/17-year-old girl named Jamie. Because I was currently the internet punching bag, and it was proof that the punching was justifiable, it was spread very quickly, without a lot of questions being asked. Before I break it down, I want to immediately say that this is not true. I did not groom anyone, I did not groom Jamie, and I would never be inappropriate with someone underage. When they posted this allegation, attached was a video. That, of course, went viral. It was a video from another phone of a Snapchat being opened, supposedly from Dream, that had moaning in the background and a very sexual caption.
So if you've watched my other video or you're familiar with this situation, I'm assuming you are. If you're watching this video, you have heard these videos, you've heard the moaning. It's hard to listen to, it's terrible to listen to, and it does seem to be Dream's account because of like the avatar and the name, but of course those can be easily faked. It doesn't seem like a fake video, it doesn't seem like a completely fake piece of evidence, which did happen in this situation. People were making false allegations amidst these potentially real allegations, which was completely fucked up. But this Burner22 account did seem to have the most official, most believable evidence that Dream was sexting and grooming potentially an underage person.
Clip in its entirety without audio.
But I will say that the moaning did have nothing that could directly link to Dream. It was a black screen, there was just text on the screen, and it was unidentifiable moaning. They didn't even show the Snapchat username. They didn't click on his profile or anything to actually prove it was Dream. So I will say there is not concrete proof that it was Dream moaning. And I wanted to add this in as I'm editing the video, because in my previous videos talking about this situation specifically, I said that Dream did come out and confirm that it was him, and while he didn't outright confirm it was him, he didn't deny it either. For example, in the tweet where he called it unsubstantiated revenge porn, he doesn't deny it, but he also leaves the door open that it's the possibility that it could be him. However, there was evidence that came out. Dream does talk about this. This evidence, by the way, came out today, well, yesterday as me recording this, which proves that he is capable of not taking a year to respond to allegations, but they posted a 24 pages of evidence that Dream did prey on this 16-year-old, which is the one that he allegedly sent the moaning audio to. And like I said, Dream does go over this document. He does talk about it. So I'll wait until he talks about it to go more in depth on it.
Lots of Discord DMs between anonymous people who were claimed to be two friends of Dream's and said it was them discussing me having sexted a minor. In these screenshots, they say that I was confronted about it and that I admitted it. I've shown you every piece of evidence they posted without changes, and I've mentioned everything that they've claimed. Now, just to reiterate, this is not true. Every piece of evidence is either out of context, edited, blatantly lied about, or presented in a very disingenuous way. Now, of course, when something like this is claimed, it's extremely serious, so I'm gonna break it down in detail. Okay, so who is this accusation from? It's from an anonymous burner account made the day of the accusation, which is interesting. So we don't know who they are, but we do know who the victim is. Jamie, right? And how old did they say she was? They said 16/17. Okay. So what else do we know about Jamie? They said she left the internet in 2020. So because they apparently can't, let me tell you who Jamie is. I follow Jamie on Twitter, which people quickly pointed to as proof. As you can see, Jamie is also followed by Skeppy, Verb, and Spifey, other YouTubers from the community. I met Jamie when I wasn't even a YouTuber. I had just posted my first ever YouTube video less than a month before.
So he admits that he does know Jamie, he does follow her, but he says that he's known her since before he was ever famous, before he ever blew up for making Minecraft content, which is an interesting perspective, and it does get more interesting as he tells his story here.
They were right about her age. She's 21 now, so she would have been around 17 4 years ago. That's about the only correct thing they said this entire time. Like, remember they said she quit the internet in 2020 as a convenient way to excuse any questions about her? Well, she didn't. She liked a tweet from last month, actively tweeted all of 2022, and she changed her bio and Twitter account name when this happened, just wanting to be left alone? That's interesting. And she actually tweeted saying she only privated her account because some of her IRL friends were finding it and she didn't want them to.
So that's a very good piece of evidence to bring up. The fact that he brought up that he knew her before all this, and that she also tweeted about wanting to be left out of it, and also that one of the claims the burner account was making was false. Those are all good things. You're disproving things and making yourself look better all the while.
Or why they lied about that. Maybe because the person who's claiming this doesn't know Jamie, doesn't know anything about Jamie, doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me, and is being malicious and making up whatever they can to end my career. Let's talk about some other stuff. They also said they posted the videos with permission, which of course makes the videos seem much more real. Well, it's apparently me, and I didn't give them permission, and it's apparently sent to Jamie, and she didn't give them permission. She quit the internet. She couldn't have.
And I felt like this was definitely worth adding to the video. Since I recorded my response, the burner account has responded to Dream's video, and the first thing they said was that they had a chance to watch the video, and unfortunately Dream had a very unreliable person make a statement in his video, and that to see their next tweet. And they posted this video here that says the other person in the Discord conversation who made a statement was the one who confirmed the story, shared the videos with us, and gave us permission to post them. With this video right here being their conversation about the situation, them sharing the information, the videos, and also giving permission to share it. And then they followed that up by saying, we fully believe either this person purposefully misled us or has now lied in Dream's own video. For what reason we are unaware. If the allegations are in fact false, they had a chance to correct them, but they did not, and instead did the opposite. And then they tweeted again saying, to clarify what we are saying, either this person lied to us about the allegations being true, sent us fake proof, and then gave us permission to post it for whatever reason, or they lied in Dream's response video about the allegations being false, and the allegations are true. So one way or the other, this person that provided the information is either lying about the accusations being true, or they're lying in Dream's video about them being false. And there isn't really, in my opinion, enough evidence to say it can be swung either way, so I honestly don't know what to believe. But I'll show you the statement from the person they say is involved now.
These screenshots are extremely out of context and used disingenuously to tell a story about Dream that isn't true at all. I haven't spoken to Dream in a very long time, but to my knowledge, he has not interacted with underage fans inappropriately or in any way that could be considered grooming. These DMs were posted by the burner without my permission and without ever contacting me beforehand. They were sent to the burner by a vulnerable person that was up.
So that's their statement. They said it was made by someone that was upset and also under the influence of alcohol. That part was cut out for some reason in my recording, but that's their statement. And it seems like for whatever reason they're either lying in Dream's video or they're lying to the burner account. I can't say for sure which one it is. It's just super strange.
This allegation is not from a victim. It is from an anonymous Twitter account that was made the same day as the allegation. This anonymous person claims that I groomed a girl named Jamie. They did not ever contact Jamie. They did not know Jamie. They got none of their information from Jamie. They even incorrectly said that she quit the internet years ago when she's still active to this day. They posted videos claiming to be from me to a minor. They never showed proof that it was from me or my Snapchat profile. They never showed proof of who it was to. They cropped context from screenshots, lied publicly and said I admitted the videos were from me. They falsely alluded to the fact that the victim gave them permission, and ended up causing massive harassment and terror to Jamie, who they said was a victim of mine. The person in the screenshots claims that I'm not a groomer, that they're extremely out of context, and that the burner doesn't even know what was being discussed, and that now their personal life is being dug into due to an anonymous burner account.
So yeah, I think he very well dismantled that and proved that his side of the story was more believable than theirs, and their evidence that they had against him, he provided better evidence to prove and support his side.
But wait, they reported me. They even reached out to the Orange County Police, my local police. They put it in writing, put their name on it, and solidify that their claims are correct.
So they also reported him to the police, they said, and Dream also called this police department and proved that they also had no record of him ever being reported.
And of course they said that to try and make me look guilty for being a predator somehow. But I guess I wanted to call and try and get more information, I guess.
What's your name? People are there, they're slandering you. There's nothing, and this is we have a very broad database. Nothing, no interaction.
So yeah, man, as a neutral party, Dream's side is more believable. His truth seems to be the truth. And I didn't think he could do it. I didn't think it was possible. I was erring on the side that the burner account was likely being true, and that Dream was a terrible person and a groomer. But from everything he's shown, all these things, there's more evidence pointing to his story being right than all these other narratives and these allegations pointing the finger at him.
As I was literally about to post this video, another burner thread by a different burner was made about Jamie, claiming 24 pages of evidence that I groomed her. And the very first line of their document, the Twitter account Burner22 recently provided a screenshot of a Twitter DM conversation between them and someone by the name of Jamie.
So this is where he gets into the 24-page Google Doc, which is this right here. He doesn't talk about everything in it, but they basically just give you a roadmap of how Dream and her are connected, how it's actually Dream's account, how this is actually Jamie, how he was potentially grooming her, and how she was actually underage throughout their communication, with a bunch of screenshots and laying out the whole story from start to finish.
Massively incorrect, a lie, and never happened, as you now know. The burner account was not any of the people and any of the messages, never spoke with Jamie, and the actual person in these messages has made a statement in this video debunking this, as well as Jamie. And this is the first line of their 24 pages. Their proof was all to show that I knew Jamie, followed Jamie, and that Jamie was a minor. All things that they didn't need to stalk her to do.
And now that's all the video I'm going to show you. In conclusion, I want to say that I don't think now that Dream has sexted with minors. Before, I was kind of thinking he did, just because of his weird communication with underage people. They were still underage. He did communicate with underage fans. That's a fact. He did do that. Some of the messages were kind of weird, but nothing that could actually be seen as grooming and pedophilia. So at this point in time, after all this, after this massive journey, this epic anime arc and Dream's little grooming escapades, or whatever you want to call it, I think that Dream's only crime is being dumb and handling this situation in the worst way possible. He should have never messaged his fans, especially underage ones, and had these kind of conversations with them. It wouldn't have led to stuff like this, and he should have addressed the allegations when they first came out. But other than that, that's all I want to say. I'm saying my piece with this whole conversation, and I'll catch you in the next one.